What's up guys, Jades back here again for yet a new Teen Wolf video. And in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys the continuation of what if Scott McCall had no choice but to kill Liam Dunbar. And in today's video, it's going to be what if Scott McCall and Jordan Parish teamed up to fight Sebastian Valet, aka the Beast of Jevaudan, in the episode Apotheosis. So if you guys enjoy Teen Wolf content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a future upload from me, so that you guys can help us reach 4,000 subscribers. We are about 16 subscribers away now from hitting 4K. So if you guys can help us reach that goal, that'd be greatly appreciated. And before we get to the video, about 62% of you guys who watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you could please subscribe to the channel once again, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys just like Teen Wolf content in general, this is the #1 channel for you. So make sure you guys leave a like. Also, comment your thoughts down below on what you want the next few what if videos to be. So with that all said, let's hop into today's what if, because it's going to be the longest one I've done so far, as we have a lot to cover and a lot to wrap up. So let's just get into this thing. So this continuation takes place at the end of season 5 during the finale 5x20, or better known as Apotheosis. In this timeline, Scott McCall has killed Jennifer Blake, Peter Hale, and suffered a major loss at the hands of his new arch nemesis, Theo Rakin, who set up the events that led to the death of Liam Dunbar at the hands of Scott McCall. That event changed a lot of things in this alternate reality. Mason and Hayden vowed to get revenge on Scott for the death of Liam. Theo, through manipulating the events during status asthmaticus, caused a rift between Scott and his packmates for a good amount of time. During all this turmoil, no one knew the master plan of the Dread Doctors. Their ultimate creation was born through the genetic chimera Mason Hewitt, the recently resurrected Beast of Jevaudan, an ancient werewolf from the 1700s who was known for killing at least 500 people. Throughout the coming weeks, it caused terror around Beacon Hills, killing numerous innocents and wreaking havoc unlike anything our heroes have ever encountered before. On the other hand, another creature rose from the depths of hell, literally to challenge the resurrected monster, the Hellhound, Cerberus, who currently resides inside the Deputy Jordan Parish. According to a painting, it was sealed in fate that one day these two forces of nature would fight each other and destroy the entirety of everything around them. The Banshee, Lydia Martin, was trapped in Eichen House and being experimented on. Paris was the key factor, along with the genius of Styles Stilinski, to break her out of the insane asylum. As the weeks went by, over time the pack got back together because of the need.
Okay, I just want to say right now, Jake, you're a genius.
To stop the Beast, Theo, and the Dread Doctors, which leads up to the most insane event of this timeline so far. Parrish was running down the street, chasing the Beast as he narrowly escaped moments prior after killing the Dread Doctors, or most of them at least. The Argents were discussing methods of ways to kill the Beast, who was revealed to be Sebastian Valet. Elsewhere, Sebastian, now back in human form, killed a man and stole his clothing and car. Before he drove off, he heard a voice and was confused. It was the voice of Mason Hewitt, the host who paved the way for Sebastian's spirit to return from the afterlife. Hewitt told him, since he's returned and can control transformations, to hunt down the Alpha Scott McCall. Valet asked what an Alpha was, and Mason explained to him the entire situation. Sebastian asked what he would get in return for him killing Scott, with Hewitt telling him that he could completely take over his body and do whatever he wants, as he would be completely resurrected. Both parties agreed, and using Mason's memories, Valet learned how to use a steering wheel and other components of controlling a car and learned how to use it. He drove the car to the location of McCall, since he had his scent from the Dread Doctor's hideout. At the animal clinic, Scott carries in the surgeon, who's still alive, in the back of the building. Scott tries to talk to him before he dies from his wounds, and he asks how he can kill the Beast. With the doctor barely being able to speak, passing out from all the blood, Scott shoves his body back and forth, begging him to wake up as he hears a car pull up in the parking lot. Sebastian Valet opens his car door and gets out. He starts to speak. McCall, I know who you are, and I know you're in there. Come out, and I'll make your death quick and easy. Scott realizes that the surgeon was telling him the pike as he grabs it and runs out of the back of the building into the woods. Valet hears him and begins to transform, with smoke and shadows forming around him, similar to how the Venom symbiote works from Marvel Comics. He transforms into his beast form, Scott sprinting through the woods and into one of the tube entrances leading to the Beacon Hill sewer system. Down below in the sewers, the hunters, Chris Argent and Gerard Argent, are setting up high-pitched displacements around the area. They could hear the roar of the beast as he draws closer, and Chris begins to coach and talk to Parish, who's now back in human form, and teaming up with the Argents. He tells Parish that he needs to remain strong and confident, and that this is the moment he's destined for. It's your job to kill the beast. It's your ultimate purpose. It's your goal. We're counting on you. The town is depending on it. Deep inside his subconsciousness, Cerberus communicates with Parish, letting him know that it is okay to go all out. I didn't tell you this before, but there's a form I've been keeping secret from you. During the raid on Eichen House, I took control of your body, but you were fighting back. Now that we have equal control and a perfect symbiotic relationship, I can allow you to access my true form, which I can only allow you to use for a short amount of time due to how much energy my spirit can put out at a time. Parish opened his eyes, and they changed to a burning orange as he told the Argents, I know what I have to do. Scott arrives just before Parish walks off, now equipped with the pike, and tells Parish, we know what we have to do. Parish, confused, asks McCall what's going on, with him explaining that he wants to fight the beast alongside Parish due to him hunting him down for some unknown reason.
By the way, this is fire. I'm serious, man, it's fire.
McCall explains that he has the spark of both Peter Hale and his former beta Liam Dunbar, and that he has access to his beast form due to him choosing not to have a perfect balance of both human and werewolf to access that form. Parish's Hellhound hears McCall and speaks, and gives Parish the okay to have help in taking down the beast. Elsewhere, Theo Rakin is with Deucalion in the sewers trying to find the beast, now with the powers of all of his Chimera pack. Theo turns on Deucalion and seems to injure him, and Sebastian shows up telling Rakin to get out of his way. With him stabbing Valet in the stomach with all of his claws, Valet looks at him in anger and then looks down with all the smoke in the area and shadows starting to form, which leads to Theo freaking out. Valet looks back and his eyes are pure bright blue as he transforms and shoves Theo out the way. Scott and Parish stand in an open space in the middle of the sewers with water flowing out of the tubes around them. Sebastian walks into the area from the other side and stops in place. McCall and the Hellhound. You two really think you can stop me? The confidence in young people in this generation is truly astonishing. Back in my day...
Bro, nice job on these voices. I'm liking that too.
People your age were terrified of me. And you should most definitely be terrified of me. McCall says that they aren't afraid of him and that he can be killed with a pike. Freaking out, Valet, who asks where the weapon is, and Parish responds saying, don't worry about it. He's dealing with them now. Sebastian begins to transform again while walking towards them, and so do McCall and Parish. Scott's eyes turn red and black as he transforms into the same creature he was when he fought Peter back in Mexico. Parish releases flames from...
Oh, another thing, dude. Great job on just like the storytelling, everything, man. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, I write lyrics, yes, but I write them like stories, but they just don't come out that way, you know, because you're writing lyrics. But this right here, fire, man.
From all over his body as the cracks in his skin begin to open, with black skin erupting from the openings and forming around his body. His eyes glowing purely orange, with his ears extending and his teeth shifting. Both creatures roar in sync at the beast as the three behemoths charge into battle. Scott and Parish deal with the first few blows as they hit fast and hit hard, with the beast shrugging off both attacks. Scott roars and jumps back in the battle, biting down into its skin, and the monster uses one of his hands to grab and shove off McCall, while Parish breathes fire from his mouth, pushing it back and stumbling it for a while. Valet recovers and smirks at the two creatures, telling them, "Is that all you got?" Scott gets back up, bleeding a little, but still pushing on as he repeatedly strikes at Sebastian, and the other shares blows as well. Parish, exhausted due to the amount of energy Cerberus spent, steps to the side as McCall fights the beast head on. The two come to a standstill, with both holding onto each other's hands as the floor below them cracks. The beast, pleasantly surprised with Scott's strength, compliments him.
"For a young werewolf, you're pretty strong. I have to admit, I'm having a little fun, but it's still not enough to damage me."
Valet lets go and punches Scott, sending him flying face first to the ground. Parish and Cerberus talk subconsciously.
"Parish, I found out Sebastian's game, but we need to get him back to human form. His beast form is different from anything I've ever seen. It's pure evil. The shadows that form around his body act as a shield, protecting him from sustaining any damage. He's not actually transformed like we think he is. He's still in human form, and just protected by his transformation, like a knight wearing armor to protect himself."
With this new knowledge, Parish goes in to fight Valet as Scott transforms back to human form and watches on, heavily injured. Parish releases fire from both hands and directs it towards Sebastian's face, staggering him, and Parish shoves his hand into his chest, pulling out the body from within, and Valet is successfully removed from his shadow form as it disappears, and he screams, "No!" as he drops to the floor, with Lydia Martin coming from being previously injured by the beast and telling Parish and Scott to stay behind her. She screams, "Mason!" as Sebastian's spirit is ripped from the body of Mason Hewitt and appears as a floating ghost. Parish screams, "Now!" as Chris Argent throws the pike into Sebastian's spirit, killing him permanently. Kira Yukimura, the girlfriend of Scott McCall, who had spent some time with the Skinwalkers in order to control her kitsune, returns and finds Theo in the sewers just recovering from being knocked out by the beast along with Deucalion. The Alpha says, "You know, showing up a tad bit earlier would have been nice," as Kira tells him to leave Theo to her, and Deucalion leaves the sewers with his job now accomplished. Back with the others, Mason, now fully recovered, screams, "No!" as he slams his hands on the ground. Lydia tries to comfort him, with Hewitt slapping her hands saying, "Get away from me!" as he points at Scott and still blames him for Liam's death. Kira arrives with Theo and shoves him to the ground, holding her sword towards his head. "Tell him, Theo. Tell him everything." Mason, confused, looks at Kira and says, "What do you mean, tell me everything?" Kira shoves Raken, crying, while demanding him to tell Mason the truth. Theo opens up with no escape from the situation and tells Mason all the things he did to Liam, grooming him into his apprentice, manipulating him, and mentally abusing him into doing his bidding throughout all of Season 5, Part 1. Mason, shocked, stands up, sobbing while turning towards Scott and telling him, "I forgive you. It wasn't your fault." He asks Kira to give him the sword, and she leaves
Bro, chills. That's how good this is.
Theo's head back. Mason lifts up the sword and shoves it through Raken's chest, killing him, and as he coughs up blood and falls to the side. Mason, now at peace with Liam's death, hands the sword back to Kira as he walks away and leaves the sewers. The rest of the episode plays out relatively the same, with the extra addition of Liam's funeral being held to honor him as everyone shows up there. The season ends with a wide shot of the tube the Dread Doctors were using to prolong their lives, and we see the man inside the tube open his eyes and grin in a sinister manner, with the irises of his eyes glowing red on his left eye and orange on his left going red on his right eye and orange on his left eye as the scene cuts to black and the credits roll. So that is the what if scenario I have for you today. It tied up quite a bit of the what if stories I set up before, that being Scott versus Peter. We got the final payoff here, and Scott versus Liam, we got the payoff to that here as it all came full circle and connected. So if you guys enjoyed this what if story, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is the longest what if video I've done so far. It took me like 3 hours to write this story. So if you guys could please leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. It took a lot of work and effort into making this happen. And I thank you guys for tuning into these videos, as I know a lot of you guys have been enjoying them. I put out a poll. A lot of you guys say that these are better than the fantasy fights. I'm going to continue putting these out, with fantasy fights coming out a lot less now because I have a shit ton of them on the channel already. So if you guys enjoy all things Teen Wolf, this is the #1 channel for you. As mentioned before, subscribe, help us reach 4K, turn on post notifications so that you never miss a future upload. I'm Jade's Corner. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, and positivity as always. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Alright, you guys should definitely go sub to him, if you haven't. And that was a fun reaction, man. Like, everything on that was cool. I loved it, man. It was out of the water, man. It was perfect. The writing on that, everything. And I know from trying to write lyrics, and I used to do a bit of little short stories when I was in school. I wasn't the best at it. They were decent, but my brain doesn't go to that place. But now that I'm older, I can go to a darker place mentally when I'm writing, so. But if you haven't already, go check out Jade's Corner, and yeah. See you guys next time.